Welcome everybody to part 101 of my WoW playthrough. Man, it has been quite a series. I was kind of hoping I could do a live introduction for part 100 because it's such a big milestone for me, but unfortunately, Zul'Farrak turned out to be part 100, which to be fair was a pretty cool kind of video to be doing as part 100. I just spent the past week editing so much. I edited through all of the content. I cleaned up about 1.2 terabytes worth of video material. It's ridiculous, but I have like 1.3 terabytes available right now, so we can go ham again. It is great. I decided not to reduce the quality as I did speculate I was going to do, because I just have so much space now that I can play with, so we can actually keep the quality up high. Also means that I haven't played for, I believe, 8 or 9 days. So rested experience caps after 10 days at 150% as far as I know. So we are very close to having 150%, probably like 120, 130% or something, which means that we're gonna be into level 49 with our rest experience. Also, we of course have one quest here called Return to the Hinterland, which is the elite quest, or one of the elite quests, and we have to go talk to Griffin Master Talanax.
You've spoken with Grimshade. What did he say? What? The Vile Branch trolls have sharp beak? That's unbearable. We must organize a force to get him back.
Alright, and organize we shall.
We must save Sharpbeak. Fight your way to the top of Jintha Alor in the heart of Vile Branch territory. Gain the key to Sharpbeak's cage from the Vile Priestess Hex. And then find and save Sharpbeak.
Alright, so fight at the top of Jintha Alor, kill Vile Priestess Hex for the key to Sharpbeak's cage, and save Sharpbeak. Now, we have, of course, been up there before, and yeah, you know, I'm now level 48, and you can see, you know, the rest experience bar is in next level, so we have a full level of rest experience ready to go. And the really cool thing here is that, of course, we have 2 elite quests now where we have to go to the same place, so hopefully I can find a party for them, and we can do both of these, which would be really cool. If we don't get that, then at least I'll try and maybe do some questing in the zone, because I'd like to see what the zone is like. We have played around in the zone a little bit, but I would like to maybe uncover, like up here, there must be like another quest hub or something, so we can just kind of do some exploration on this map itself. But this video, I think, is going to be called The Exam, or something like that. You'll see from the title. And a viewer of mine in part 44 or 45, I think it's 45, I think I said that, you know, I kind of like jokingly asked, you know, give me an exam, give me questions so that I can answer them. And obviously it is way later now than that video, but I'm hoping you're still watching, and I'm hoping at this point, you know, you're going to get some enjoyment out of me answering these. So I haven't actually looked at them. I saw the comment, I like skimmed through it. I don't know what the questions are. I definitely don't know what the answers are. So I'm going to pull up the list. I'm going to go through them one by one. I'll put them on the screen for you guys to join. Now, the cool thing would be, if you guys want to join me, grab a notepad or something, or write them down, or like write a comment as you go. Because what I would like for you guys to do watching this is join me in answering these questions one by one. They'll come up on the screen one by one, and see what answers you get. And please, you know, do stick to original answers. Don't try and cheat the system, guys. I can tell. I don't know how, but I can tell. And just put your answers, the ones that you had as you were going with it, through it with me. Put them down in the comments, and we can, like, you know, have a bit of a laugh together and see which ones people knew and which ones people really don't know. So I'm going to pull them up, and let's have a good old time. All right, so the first question apparently is, Zenzil the Outcast. What tribe exiled Zenzil, and why? So the options are Gurabashi tribe, because he sold drugs, the Skull Splitter tribe, because he killed the leader, Dark Spear tribe, because he was a traitor, or the Sand Fury tribe, because he was a coward. Now, Zenzil, I feel like I can't place him in the world, but I feel like if I have seen him, I reckon it was in Stranglethorn. Like that place, like Zenzil, Stranglethorn, like for some reason that works in my mind. So then I'm starting to think which ones are there. Now, Sand Fury sounds like it's something in, maybe even in Zul'Farrak, like, you know, deserty sand. So I'm gonna make D my no-go. So then we have Gurabashi, Skull Splitter, and Dark Spear. Now, Skull Splitter were mobs. They were troll mobs because we needed their tusks. And they were, in fact, in Stranglethorn Vale. The other ones I'm not too sure about. So my guess is going to go to the Skullsplitter tribe because he killed the leader. But honestly, I have no clue. And I'm going to just edit in whether I was correct at the end. Or actually, maybe I'll Google it and I'll fill it in like in editing. Or I'll do something. So Google says to me, Zenzo the Outcast was a Gurubashi troll exile in Stranglethorn Vale. He is a jungle troll found in the ruins of Aboraz, serving as a minor villain during the Cape of Stranglethorn storyline, and a major antagonist during the Rise of Zandalari quest chain. He is also a 5-man boss in the newer Zul group. Moving on, we have Archmage Arugal. Doesn't sound familiar to me whatsoever, but let's see what's up next. What was the purpose behind experimenting with the Worgen? So, the Worgen, of course, are like the werewolf race that isn't a playable race in this iteration of the game, but does come in Cataclysm, I believe. And the options are as follows. To create super soldiers to fight the Scourge. Makes sense to me. To study their magical abilities. I don't know if they have magical abilities. They seem more like beast race to me, where they just claw their way through people, but I might be wrong there. To gain control over Gilneas, I don't even know what that is, or to create a new race of mages. Once again, they feel more beast-like, they feel more physical damage. I'm going to go with A, to create super soldiers to fight the Scourge, just because I know the Scourge was like this big thing that people were having trouble dealing with, and I can imagine they were like a combination of man and wolf or whatever, and their task was to deal with the Scourge, but then something went wrong and it became their own race. That's what I'm guessing, but once again, I have no idea. So for this one, I had to do a bit of research into the Wowpedia, but I think I found the answers. So from my understanding here, it says that Gilneas is a place which was Arugal's homeland, and the Scourge and the Undead were attacking Gilneas' northern border. So this means that he told the king about the Worgen, a race he had learned about. Then the Worgen was summoned, and they did in fact deal with the undead, so they achieved their goal. But in turn, they turned some of the human soldiers into Worgen, and they started spreading the Worgen curse all throughout Gilneas, and probably wasn't too pleasant. Then, Gunther Arcanus. What makes Gunther Arcanus significant for the Forsaken? So, I don't know who Gunther Arcanus is, and I can't remember who the Forsaken are. So the options are his powerful necromancy, his alliance with the Horde, his role in Kirin Tor. I feel like I know what, like I've heard the word Kirin Tor, but I'm not quite sure what that is. Or his connection to Baron Silverlane. Guys, this question, honestly, no clue. But Forsaken to me seems like a dark, potentially even necromantic kind of thing. So I'm gonna go with A, his powerful necromancy, just because Forsaken sounds like that, like they're like the zombie faction or something like that. But honestly, once again, no idea. So Gunther Arcanus was a student of the Kirin Tor in Dalaran, and I still believe Dalaran is like some sort of mage society or something. So he was training to become a mage, a sorcerer of some kind. He also was very skilled in necromancy, and necromancy apparently was illegal among the Kirin Tor. During the Third War, whatever exactly that might be, he was killed and he was raised to become an undead. However, he broke free of the undead mind control and then believed he was the only undead with free will and that all the others were Scourge slaves. Alright, now for a familiar one. Edwin Van Cleave. Which city did Edwin Van Cleave lead rebellion against? So we have Stormwind, Ironforge, Orgrimmar, or the Undercity. Now, this one I know. It is Stormwind, because he was a part of the... What was it called? Like, he was part of like a group of people. I'm really trying to like think back, but he definitely led a rebellion against it, and then he became the end boss of the Deadmines. So he was working with the Scarlet... What are they called? The Scarlet Crusade? I think so. Correct. Alright, next one. Baron Rivendare. What dungeon is a Baron Rivendare associated with? I haven't heard of Baron Rivendare, I think. And we have dungeons called Stratholme, Skolomans, Blackrock Depths, and Dire Maul. 4 dungeons, apparently, that I haven't done. So that is on me, I should have been doing more dungeons, I think. Oh, my tea is way too hot. Ooh, ha. I burned myself. Okay. So, Stratholm to me sounds very human, like it's a human city or something. So I'm gonna go with Stratholm just because Baron Rivendare. Actually, I mean Baron Rivendare sounds like a, maybe it's like even like a. You have the trolls. Wait, actually, are they trolls? Yes, you have the trolls or the, like the guys are running the casino, or not the casino, the auction house and stuff in Booty Bay. Those guys, like they are. What was it called? They're like this like mafia kind of grouping. I'm thinking of those troll guys, like the, because Baron makes me think of them. So the word I'm looking for desperately, as I'm laughing at myself in editing right now, is goblins, guys. I was looking for the word goblins, but for some reason all I could think was trolls. It's goblins. Speaking of the question at hand here, Baron Titus Rivendare, the full name, was the original ruler of the city of Stratholm for the Scourge. He led the four horsemen of Naxxramas in place of High Lord Mograine. Don't know too much about it, but I was correct. Alright, next one. Ragnaros. Which zone is Ragnaros the final boss of? Now, Ragnaros sounds very familiar to me. And we have Molten Core, Blackwing Lair, Onyxia Lair, and Zul'Gurub. So, Onyxia, we have seen in like the graphic mod, or not the graphic mod, like the picture mode thing we did, like in one of the previous videos. We know that Onyxia is a dragon, and I'm going to assume that in Onyxia's lair, Onyxia is the final boss. Same thing with Blackwing. Like, wouldn't you assume that in Blackwing lair, Blackwing is the main boss? So then we have Zul'Gurub and Molten Core left. Now, Zul'Gurub, for some reason, it doesn't like Ragnaros, Zul'Gurub. They feel like they're too different in like the origin of the name. You know, like they sound like they come from very different cultures. So Molten Core is what I'm going to go with, especially as well because I think Molten Core is like such a famous thing, which I don't really know too much, but I know Molten Core like as an instance piece of content, and Ragnaros sounds like that would probably be the answer. And once again, I am correct. So, Ragnaros the Fire Lord was an incredibly powerful elemental lord of fire. And apparently he serves as a major antagonist in classic World of Warcraft, so we're probably going to be running into him later when we do the Molten Core raid at some point. And he was a secondary antagonist in Cataclysm. Then, High Inquisitor Whitemane. Which dungeon is High Inquisitor Whitemane located in? So we have Scarlet Monastery Cathedral, Armory, Library, and Graveyard. So we didn't do Graveyard, but High Inquisitor Whitemane is located in the Cathedral. I'm pretty sure, because the Library had like the spinning dude who like blocked stuff. Then the Armory was the one we did at the very end. We had the two... Wait, no, you didn't have the two bosses there. You had just one boss there. And then the Cathedral had the two bosses, and I think one of them was High Inquisitor Whitemane, I think. So I'm going to go with Cathedral A. Correct. Then, Blackrock Depths. What is the name of the final boss encounter in Blackrock Depths? So, Ragnaros. I mean, we kind of just said that Ragnaros is the final boss of Molten Core, so that then you can't be the final boss of Ragnaros as well. Nefarian. Never heard of that. Onyxia, probably, once again, the connection with Onyxia's lair would make me think that Onyxia has its own boss fight, so that one is off as well. Emperor Thaurissan, that one sounds like it's human. And Blackrock Depths. I mean, Blackrock Depths are... I'm assuming it's orcs, right? Because you have the Blackrock Orcs. So I'm going to assume that Blackrock Depths is an extension of the Blackrock Orc story. So I'm going to go with Nefarian, because I'm assuming Ragnaros and Onyxia have their own dungeon. Emperor Thaurissan sounds very human, which would be weird as an orc name. So I'm going to go with Nefarian. So, Blackrock Depths is a level 52 to 60 dungeon located in the deepest parts of the Blackrock Mountain, ruled by the Dark Iron Dwarves and led by Emperor Dagran Thaurissan. And then it says, several minions of the Fire Lord Ragnaros also call their home in these lava-lined depths. So I guess I was wrong. And then engineering. Which race are the best in the noble craft of engineering? Trolls, gnomes, goblins, or night elves? And I was thinking about the race goblins, by the way, with the Baron thing. I was kind of blanking on the name. Like for some reason, like trolls and goblins were like the same thing in my mind, but obviously it's goblins. So the best race for crafting or for engineering, I'm assuming it's gnomes, right? I mean, gnomes have built like this entire like insane city, or are they more like alchemical? And are goblins better? Like night elves, no, right? No. Trolls, probably not. So it's between gnomes and goblins. Goblins probably are quite good at it as well, but I feel like like it feels like goblins are more like handyman. Like they're really good at creating like not super advanced things, but you know they're good at creating things. And then gnomes are like the super geniuses. You know, like they create like the super advanced things. So if we're talking engineering and we're talking about like computer hardware kind of engineering, then I'm assuming gnomes are best. So this one was slightly trickier to figure out because when you try and Google this, you try and Google best race for engineering, you will get in-game answers because there's races in-game and engineering is a profession, so that's a bit unfortunate. But from my limited answers I could find online, the way it kind of works is gnomes are more professional, they create working things, they're not super crazy, but they just create, good, robust things, and they kind of have an expected outcome, and if things go wrong, nothing terribly goes wrong, it's just, well, shit happens. And then with the goblins, they create more of like these crazy things, they're like these crazy scientists, like I just imagine this like crazy scientist hair, and if things go wrong, you just get blown up. That's kind of the gist of it. So I think based on that, I would say gnomes are probably the better engineers because you would like some safety and consistency in the designs. But I kind of think it depends on your perspective. So I guess they're both correct, sort of. All right. So that was my answering of the questions. You can see, we have started sitting down. I wasn't looking at the game. I was looking at like a YouTube comments page. And I'll probably have me like editing in the answers in some way, and yeah, it's gonna be good. So yeah, let me know how you guys did. I'm gonna go check out the comments of this video for sure, and please let me know. And for the person, of course, Blackadder, who put the original comment into my original video, that one's for you. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you liked my creative way of attempting to figure out the answers, which most likely I had many of them wrong.